We'll start with Colin.
Hey, Emma, I've been wanting to ask you this for a little bit, but that LSU series, I think it was the first game Riley was at the plate and had a chance to win it and didn't. Coach Anderson told us after the game that she was upset she didn't come through in the situation, and you were upset that you had kind of put a freshman at the plate in that situation and moving out of the starting lineup. Just what was it like that situation for you, and what is it like creating that culture where you guys are so competitive but also care that much about each other?
You know, in that situation, it's a little tough because you're used to being the everyday starter. But I think that was also a situation where, everything's not given and you got to push each other or who you play with to the next level. And Riley and I, we practice with each other every day. So we're always there helping each other out as best we can. When she was put in that position, I wasn't doubting anything. And I even told Coach this. I said, I trust what you're doing. If you think she was the best person for that scenario, I believed in her as well. So it's not really a anger thing. It's not really a disappointment thing. It's more, if that's what's best for the team right now, then that's kind of what we need to do. And if I need to kind of regroup, then that's what needs to be done.
How do you feel like you did regroup at the plate? Because since then I think you're hitting 350. You've got 4 of your 9 homers since that LSU series ended. You had that massive blast against Florida.
I don't think my mindset, my mentality has changed very much, but like I said, things aren't promised and you got to make the most of what you're given them. My whole goal at the plate is score runs. Whatever I can do to score runs, that's my priority. And sometimes you get a ground ball that goes through and sometimes you hit one over the fence. And I've been letting the ball fly lately. So that's just kind of a nice feeling on top.
And then Dave.
Emma, this has been a pretty excited and confident group lately. As you get closer now and you're 24, 48 hours away, does that feeling just grow and intensify, or how does this group feel right now?
Yeah, especially after the selection show, I was with some of my teammates because we're roommates and we were just talking, me and Kendall Bailey, and it's like the path is paved. It's what we do at this point to get to where we want to be. And I think we're really confident in each other, and don't let anybody think that we're not going to be playing pretty good teams, because Iowa State, UCI, like they're all decent teams, and we just have to go out and play our game the best we possibly can.
Hey, Emma, your team's pitching philosophy and just the setup of having, 4 regulars out there, what advantage can that give you in a tournament setting where you're playing a whole bunch of games in 3 days?
Well, as someone who obviously plays, and sometimes I'll take Tennessee for an example, that first game, Ashley Rogers, she's a phenomenal pitcher, but she shut us down. 2 days later, we were able to get back on track and adjust to her. And I think one good thing, definitely having a pitch by committee staff, is giving these teams a different look each time. They might have seen one pitcher one game, but then the next game they're going to see maybe 1 or 2 different ones. So they're always having to adjust, while we can maybe adjust to just one if we're seeing one constantly.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Emma, back to that homer you hit against Florida. Hattie Moore said that was the coolest moment she's ever been a part of, travel ball, high school, whatever. That emotion, that moment, where does that rank for you? And just what was that feeling like?
I think I'd put that up there as number 1 also. I mean, you can't argue that. And, those are things that I think about often. I think I have the mentality too, which kind of helps me. I'm not afraid to be the last out. So what I was trying to do at that point is the fact that Cassidy Shoma was able to start us off and start our rally with 2 outs, starting us off the double, and then each player passing the bat. At that moment, I mean, you're not thinking, I'm going to hit a home run right here, but you're thinking, pass the bat. Like I said, when the ball flies, it just becomes that much better. And that was just one of the coolest experiences against a really good Florida team.
That ball 3, I know Tim Walton wanted that to be the backwards K, but I mean, what was going through your head when you took that? How close was it from your point of view?
One thing that was nice was that umpire we had previously the day before, and you start to figure out the umpire zones and what he's giving, what he's not. And he was, props to him, he was very, very consistent. And I knew, if it's slightly off the corner, he's probably not going to call it. So in that moment, I'm like, that ball I couldn't drive. So if I swung, I was thinking probably a bad result. So I think it was worth taking it, knowing that umpire that we had and knowing his zone.
Any more questions for Emma?